Could you please introduce yourself and tell us something about your work?
Okay, my name is Zoran Grozdanov. Currently I'm professor at Zagreb University, but the reason why I'm talking with you is because I'm the initiator and the coordinator of the initiative that happened at 2015 and continued, that was called No VAT on Food Donations. And that was a national initiative that had its aim of increasing the food donations for the humanitarian organizations.
How did you manage to persuade the authorities to change the law?
Okay, so I have to first describe what was the problem. So the initiative started when I was speaking with one volunteer from the humanitarian organization here in Rijeka that was distributing food to the people in need. And we were talking like what's the biggest problem, because the shelves of that humanitarian organizations were empty, and she said that the biggest problem is that when huge donors, for instance huge malls or food producers, when they want to donate the food, they have to pay 25% of the taxes, so-called VAT tax. And then we came to the conclusion that we could start a national initiative to persuade the authorities to remove that VAT. We have started at 2015, that was like in February, and we agreed to have one press conference in front of the Croatian Parliament in Zagreb, where we would invite national televisions and so on and say, this is the problem, we are inviting the governments to remove the VAT from the food donations. And we were surprised by the impact of our press conference, because like a week later the Minister of Agriculture, who was responsible for food donations, invited us and said, tell me what were your solutions. And at that time we didn't have any solutions, because we just realized what was the problem. So we gathered like 10 people around ourselves to see what would be the solutions. And one of the biggest reasons why we succeeded, because we touched the subject that was not ideological subject, but was a subject that everybody can identify with it. For instance, I don't know, all national televisions were producing shows where they were showing like people are digging the trash to find the food, and at the same time food donors are paying taxes, and at the same time we are wasting 400,000 tons of food per year. So everybody who was watching that, like, this is unfair, we have to change that. So media pressure was quite high on the authorities, and also we always had a good relationship with the authorities. We didn't attack the authorities, but say we have to solve it, we are here to help. And that lasted for 7 or 8 months until the VAT was removed completely. And that was, by many who are following civil organizations, scene and initiatives, said that was one of the fastest initiatives and most effective in Croatia for the past 15 years.
And do you have any words of advice for young people like us who might be looking to make a change around us?
Yeah, I mean, basically what was my experience out of this civil initiative that I was leading is that we were a bunch of amateurs. So when we are watching television or reading newspapers and see some people change some things, we think that those are professionally equipped and paid for people to change something. That's a complete lie. I mean, maybe some are, but for us it was like a bunch of amateurs, friends who gathered, who saw the problem. It was a national problem, it was not a local problem, it was a national problem, so we had to work more for how to lift consciousness of the whole nation, of the authorities, national authorities and national media. But basically, what was my experience is that changes in Croatia especially are really easily made. Yeah, because we have many laws that are unjust. We are not like Sweden or Germany, who have laws for, I don't know, centuries, and if you want to change them, you will have to work for years. all our laws are basically very, very young, and especially the civil scene, especially if you are going with some subjects that are not ideological, but that benefit many people in the country, you will find media support really high. And what is my word of advice is really, and that's not just a phrase, changes are really possible. You just have to encourage yourself and see what is the problem in your local community, in your school, in your, I don't know, city or in the country, and see this is the problem, let's see how to solve it. And really, my experience is it's not easy to solve those problems. But basically, you don't have to have knowledge about it. You have to have will, and the knowledge comes afterwards.
Well, thank you very much for coming and having this interview with us.
Thank you for inviting me.